Good day! This video is all about the types of sentences according to structure, focusing on complex and compound complex sentences. At the end of this video, you should be able to use complex and compound complex sentences appropriately and meaningfully. Before we proceed to the discussion, let us first have a recall on the first two types of sentences according to structure, the simple and compound sentences. A simple sentence is the most basic form of a sentence. It has only one independent clause. On the other hand, a compound sentence has two or more independent clauses joined by a conjunction or a semicolon. Coordinating conjunctions are commonly known as fanboys: for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. Here is an example of a simple sentence. A man and a woman were injured in a car accident. Since a simple sentence is composed of a subject and a predicate, the subject in this sentence is man and a woman, while the predicate is were injured in a car accident. An example of a compound sentence: we will accept your proposal for it looks good. A compound sentence has two or more independent clauses. The independent clauses in this sentence are we will accept your proposal and it looks good. These are joined with the conjunction for. More example sentences. Feeling distressed, the young man comforted himself with memories of his family. This is a simple sentence as it has only one subject, the young man, and one predicate, comforted himself with memories of his family. We were asked to compose a poem. We need to improve our writing skills. This is an example of a compound sentence as it has two simple sentences. We were asked to compose a poem and we need to improve our writing skills. Instead of a conjunction, this sentence makes use of a semicolon to join the two clauses together. We are now done with our review on simple and compound sentences. This time, we shall focus on the two other types of sentences according to structure: complex sentence and compound complex sentence. A complex sentence has one or more dependent clauses and one independent clause. These clauses are joined by a subordinating conjunction. These are some examples of subordinating conjunctions. Here is an example of a complex sentence. The students submitted their written works after the teacher gave them enough time. Remember that a complex sentence has one or more dependent clauses and one independent clause. The independent clause in this sentence is the students submitted their written works, while the dependent clause is after the teacher gave them enough time. The dependent clause starts with the subordinating conjunction after. Take a look at another example. Although few of the actors had experience, they performed quite well. This is a complex sentence as it has a dependent clause and an independent clause. The dependent clause is although few of the actors had experience. It starts with the subordinating conjunction although. The independent clause is they performed quite well. This clause can stand alone. The last type of sentence according to structure is the compound complex sentence. As the name suggests, it brings the compound sentence and complex sentence together. It contains one or more dependent clauses and two or more independent clauses. These are joined by either a coordinating conjunction or a subordinating conjunction. To better understand compound complex sentences, study this sentence. The students wrote poetry, and they delivered the poems in front of the class because the teacher will also grade their speaking skills. The clause, the students wrote poetry, is the first independent clause in this sentence. It is followed by the coordinating conjunction and. To link it to another independent clause, they delivered the poems in front of the class. This second independent clause is followed by the subordinating conjunction because, which means that the clause because the teacher will also grade their speaking skills is a dependent clause. Second example sentence. He left in a hurry after he got a phone call, but he came back after 5 minutes. Another technique to find and count the number of independent and dependent clauses is first identifying the conjunctions used. There are three conjunctions used in this sentence: after, but, and after. We all know that after is a subordinating conjunction. Therefore, the clause he got a phone call is the first dependent clause, and the clause after 5 minutes is the second dependent clause. Now the conjunction but is a coordinating conjunction. Hence, the clause after that is an independent clause. The only clause left is he left in a hurry. This has a complete thought and can stand alone. Therefore, it is also an independent clause. Overall, this sentence is a compound complex sentence because it has two independent clauses and two dependent clauses. Last example sentence. When I went to the store, my parents wanted me to pick up some milk, but I didn't have enough money. When I went to the store is a dependent clause because it starts with the subordinating conjunction when. My parents wanted to pick up some milk is an independent clause as it has a complete thought and it is not starting with any conjunction. But is a coordinating conjunction. Therefore, the clause after that is an independent clause. I didn't have enough money. This clause can stand alone. This is a compound complex sentence because it has one dependent clause and two independent clauses. We are now done discussing all types of sentences according to structure. Let's recall what we have learned. A simple sentence only has one independent clause, while a compound sentence has two or more independent clauses. But a complex sentence has one independent clause and one or more dependent clauses. And a compound complex sentence has two or more independent clauses and one or more dependent clauses. Look at the progress of these sentences. For a simple sentence, no one else is in the room. It has one subject, no one else, and one predicate is in the room. Compound sentence adds a coordinating conjunction and has two simple sentences. No one is in the room, so no one dared to turn on the lights. The first simple sentence is, no one is in the room. The second simple sentence is, no one dared to turn on the lights. These sentences are joined by the coordinating conjunction, so. For complex sentence, no one is in the room though the meeting should be happening soon. Again, the clause no one is in the room is an independent clause, but a subordinating conjunction precedes it. Therefore, the clause though the meeting should be happening soon is a dependent clause. There is one independent clause and one dependent clause. Hence, it is a complex sentence. Lastly, for compound complex sentence, no one is in the room, so no one dared to turn on the lights, though the meeting should be happening soon. The first independent clause is, no one is in the room. The second independent clause is, no one dared to turn on the lights. These are connected with the conjunction, so. That is the compound part of the sentence. For it to be complex, there should be a dependent clause, which is, though the meeting should be happening soon. This is a dependent clause because it starts with the subordinating conjunction, though. We are now done discussing the different types of sentences according to structure. Thank you for watching.